Hey, how's it going, guys? I was posting this video uh, because I noticed Erica Harrison posted a video on Freestyle Friday about the Halloween pranks 2014, stuff like that. I watched it all the way through. First of all, as much as I hate disclaimers, and I also want to apologize about a dog that you may hear in the background. My neighbor's dog is driving me nuts, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, the disclaimer is I'm a really laid back kind of guy. I've been that way. I like to think most of my life. I love to have fun, laugh, joke, pull pranks. Used to do it all the time myself. Um, but there's a time and a place for everything. Okay, and uh, most of you already know uh, when it comes to R&R. If when you say R&R to someone, uh, they usually associate that with vacation, like rest and relaxation. Okay, well you can't do one without the other. If you try, it usually ends up pretty bad. Okay, I have laid down and tried to rest, and when I was resting, tried to relax, and vice versa. And there's some other stuff that goes into it. I'm a disabled veteran, but that's not for this video. Okay, but where I am going with this is when you rest, relax, those two go together. While people have a right to make videos and have fun and stuff like that, there also comes a responsibility with that as well. Whenever I've watched videos countless times, as I'm sure all of you guys have too, where debates take place. You hear about it in court all the time. I have the right to freedom of speech. I have the right to do this. I have the right to protest. I have the right to speak just as loud as and they're right. They're correct. They have that right. But with that right comes an added responsibility with that right. And very rarely do I hear anyone saying, well, I have the right to do this. I have a responsibility to do this. And if you have a responsibility, that means you can also be held accountable for not being responsible. Okay? And when you talk about responsibility and accountability, that comes into standards, and that's a whole other video. Okay? Uh, but I think it's right around the 2 minute 15 second mark where this guy pulls out a gun and it's ready to he's ready to shoot the kid at point blank range. Okay, for approaching him on his own property, for approaching him in the getup that he's in, and justifiably so. You tell me anybody who is not aware that there's a prank going on that would not pull out a weapon. Okay, I'm in Arizona, gun country. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that guy would have been lucky to have walked away. I probably would have killed him. Okay, and I'm a whole other story. Okay, the point is that while we have a right to do things, we have a responsibility as well. And at approximately the 2 minute 15 second mark, instead of them continuing to make more video and us having more stuff to kind of laugh at and say, "Oh, look at that! That was weird. Why do you do that?" And look at how they responded and everything. That video could have been cut short at the 2 minute 15 second mark, and we could actually be watching a news commentary where some anchor person is talking about how a kid got shot for taking a prank too far. Okay, even the kids at the very beginning of the video admit that, hey, we didn't get it on video, but we had 6 cops holding us at gunpoint. Okay, I can remember back in the day when just a run-in with the law was something that nobody bragged about. You didn't see it as like a rite of passage or anything. It was one of those things where as long as you stayed on the right side of the law, you didn't have to worry about it. And most cops, the general overall uh, welfare of the community was a concern. It was a concern. It wasn't just a concern. It was respected. Okay. Now we're to the point these days where there's no shortage of it on YouTube, where you can actually watch videos where people uh, put events into place. They trigger events specifically for the purpose of having law enforcement respond or first responders. Okay, whatever the case is. Um, I think these kids that made this video are extremely fortunate. They're extremely blessed that the guy who had the gun had enough, exercised enough restraint not to pull that trigger, or we would be having a completely different conversation right now. You know, think about it. Part of next week's thing I'm looking at here is how to separate fact from fiction online. Well, it's not just separating fact from fiction online; it's separating fact from fiction. Period. But what about what happens when you get and I'll just kind of throw this out there now since we're talking about it anyway. Sorry, I talk fast. I just caught myself. Oh, work harder on not doing that. Separating fact from fiction. Uh, what about for those people where they have a hard time um, keeping two realities separate? You know, and an automatic presumption could be, oh well, maybe we're leading in the direction of video games and what they could be doing and desensitizing our kids and stuff like that. Uh, so to throw myself out there, um, when it comes to being able to separate one reality from another, would you, what would you say to a veteran, or how would you respond to a veteran who has a difficult time separating the anxieties of combat experience that they have or that they've gone through and adjusting to the civilian world when they come back? Um, you know, I think it's a pretty excellent topic and conversation. But it's just something to think about. You know, Erica, if you're watching this, I don't want anybody to think that I'm dogging the video or anything like that. What I'm saying is that we have a responsibility along with the right. You can pull pranks, all that kind of stuff, but be responsible about it. I mean, that one guy walking through the park with uh, the guy getting his neck cut open and everything. There are some people you just don't have. Um, you have to be careful because what if that guy would have had a heart attack? I mean, he looked like he was old enough to possibly have a heart attack. I'm surprised he ran because I expected him to have one. Um, there's a line to draw, and my question is, I guess, is where do you draw that line? And is the line the same for everybody, or is it different? And if it's different for everybody, why is it different for you as opposed to me? And if it's the same for everybody, what's the absolute highest standard? What's the highest standard of accountability that we share as a society, or the lowest? So needless to say, it opens up a multitude of things to talk about and everything, which was the purpose of me making this video in the first place, was to engage in this and see what everybody else thinks. Okay, but like I said, what prompted me making this video was the video that Erica had put out there, and I wanted to bring up that while we can have fun, and I'm all about laughing, joking, having fun and everything, there's also a responsibility that comes with that, and we need to take that just as seriously too. And that, like I said, that one kid in the video is very fortunate and blessed to be alive right now, because he could have been a headline news story rather than just a YouTube Fatal TV character in a video. So thanks for your time, guys. Appreciate it.